Ben Sobanski, what's going on, my man?
All right, Colin, man, good to see you.
Likewise, sir, likewise. Per usual, I got some questions for you. You're a great mortgage mind. I get a lot of my credit clients who are looking to buy a house. And one of the most common questions I get is, hey, they'll say, I heard that starting a new job is bad for getting approved for a mortgage. Is that true? And I know there was, some kind of buzz in the air about how lenders would look at that. How does that work, man?
Yeah, that's a great question. I hear that question a lot. I think a lot of what it comes down to is the type of job you're taking, right? You can absolutely get a new job, but what it comes down to is an understanding between what lenders consider to be base income and what lenders consider to be variable income. If you're starting a new position and your new position is a salary paid position, it doesn't matter if it's a new industry, it doesn't matter what it is, we can use that new base income because we know that it's guaranteed.
Mhm. Nice, man. And you mentioned two things in there, base income and the variable income. The average Joe walking around, I'm not sure they'd understand the difference between the two. What's the difference between those two, base and variable income?
Yeah, of course. So a base income is, think of it as your simple income. This is what you're guaranteed to make. If you have a salary position, that is base income. We're not talking about adding a bunch of other stuff to it. If you're an hourly employee that works a set schedule, we can look at that as based income, almost like a fixed income. Retirement, Social Security, anything that no matter what, we know that your paychecks are going to look like this at this period of time is kind of base income. Now,
Okay.
variable income can come into play and be kind of a grayer area. So a commission-based job, trying to include bonuses on top of your salary, including overtime on top of your hourly wages, anything that is performance-based, we need to see more of a history on to show a pattern of you receiving them.
Okay. So let me ask you this one. Are you saying that if I'm looking to buy, I can't go from variable to variable?
So you can go from variable income to another variable income job. That's where the industry matters, right? And that's going to be, up for interpretation. There isn't a flat line of, this is this. If you work at a car dealership in one part of the state, working the exact same job, and you move to a car dealership in a different part of the state doing the exact same job, we're probably going to be fine because, you've showed us that you can succeed at being paid in this position. You know what I mean? But if you move from one place where they pay you a 50% base and a 50% commission, and then you go work somewhere where it turns into 100% commission, things can get a little bit trickier there. And that's one of those situations where we're going to have that conversation, more of a one-on-one situation. There is no real blatant answer to every situation that we talk about with starting a new job.
So that's what you mean, that's where that gray area comes into play. So let me ask you this, what is considered same industry then?
So anything where we could show that you're doing the same job, anything we can show that you're working in the same capacity with the same pay structure as you were making before. A frequent one that I see, the travel nurses, right? If you've shown me that you've worked for 2 years as a travel nurse and you've just got a new contract, that's the same industry. We're still working the same thing. I can show that you've done this, and I can show an underwriter that you're able to produce this kind of income consistently.
Gotcha. So let's say I haven't started my new job yet. What if I'm between jobs, but I haven't started the new one yet? What about that?
That's a great question. I can use an offer letter, and it comes down to the same thing. If you have an offer to make, $80,000 a year, and you're going to start that new position a month after you move in, we can just take the letter. All I want to see that it's not contingent on anything. We know that you have the job, so we're okay with closing, and then you starting later because again, we're set on what you're going to make. We know what you're going to make. It's not a question anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, last one, Ben, I'll let you go here, man. And I appreciate your time. What if I'm relocating states? Say I'm leaving from Michigan, going to Vegas, Nevada. What about that?
I like that question. We apply the same rules to it. Go get an offer letter. Go find a new job. If you have that new job, if you have the relocation in place, and again, we know that it's going to be base income, then we're going to be okay because we know what you're going to make. If you're working, this is where the gray area comes into place too with the variable income. If you're working, a commission-based job and you're going from one state to the new state, can we see that you're basically doing the same thing underneath the same pay structure? And if we can show a history of that, you're still going to be okay.
Love it. Ben, man, as usual, you knocked them all out. Thanks for your time, man.
Hey, thanks, Colin. It was good talking to you.
See ya.